Hello, everybody. Welcome back, and I'm going to be reading some more of the true scary stories to tell in the dark. Hopefully, excuse me. And I'm just going to be reading some more. And if you guys have been liking these kind of videos, please let me know by liking, subscribing, etc. And let's just get right into it. Before we do that, then don't forget to follow me on all the social medias on Facebook and Instagram, etc. All of it is in the description below. And let's just get right to it. This one is called Would You Like Excuse me. Would you like to come live in my basement? When I was 17, I worked for a retail as a cashier. And I had a very old couple come through in my line buying a wok, WOK, whatever that symbols, or however you pronounce it. The husband, who was at least 85, started making conversations with me about it and asked me if I liked Chinese food. Yeah, I like Chinese. Do you want to go out with me to get some Chinese? He winks at me. No, sir. Oh well. He looked a bit disappointed and turned to look at his wife, who is on the phone with someone. Would you at least come with me to live with me in my basement? No. The rest of the transaction took place in terrified silence. His wife never said a word. I wonder to this day if he was trying to joke, because he sounded so sincere, or he was suffering from dementia or something like that. He didn't realize how creepy that sounded to someone young enough to be your great grandchild. Ooh, that would make me uncomfortable if I was in that situation. This one is by Angel X Demand. This next one is going to be called Followed. This summer, after I graduated from high school, I left work early and went to my parents' cabin in northern Michigan. Spent that night at the beach watching the sunset. Once the sun went down, it became nearly pitch black. No light pollution. I got in my car and started driving on the highway M22. After about 10 seconds of me being at speed, there was an older Tahoe, late 90s, started riding my butt and flashing it high beams. So I end up going 60 in a 45. They were still on my butt. I pull off on the side that road that my parents' cabin is off. They took the same turn. I thought it seemed weird because there was only about 30 to 40 houses on the road. So I went on the same way at the end, which actually a dead end, but leads to a maintenance area for the golf course nearby. Truck was still following me. At this point, I was freaked out because I pulled into the house. They know where we live. and they were still following close by. It took a ton of random turns. The truck kept following every single time for about 15 minutes. I finally had a chance to make a turn with traffic going through an intersection that gives me a few seconds a head start. Pulled down a side street, went up 100 yards, turned off all of my lights, and waited. The truck slowly drove by a parallel street and kept going. Booked at home, pulled my car around aside from the main road and pulled every certain curtain. For an 18-year-old, I was scared as heck that night. And that was by Sour Turtle. I would be if I was in your situation at any age. Whew. But you did the right thing of doing what you did. Just I should let you know. I'm gonna read another one, and it's called Bark. This actually happened fairly recently. I was home alone one day with my dog and two of my friends' dogs. Out of nowhere, they all started barking and looking up towards our loft. As soon as they're quietly down, they hear someone mocking. Calm tone said, "Bark." They started going crazy again and decided it's time for a long evening walk. Ooh, this one was by The Man Around Here, 69. Oh no, let's see how long this one is. Might as well. I'm going to be reading one more, and this one is called The Evil Twin. New Year's Day, 1995. I was in the middle of third year anniversary, and a bunch of friends had came down to visit me and my roommate for a festival. We were all pretty hungover from drinking the night before, and we went for a casual nice day out, but a bit chilly. I don't feel so good. Post a greasy breakfast hangover, stroll around the neighborhood. Two of my friends were twin brothers. One of them we hung out all the time. The other we just met for the first time. He was pretty normal for the night before joining in a fun, but this day we were pretty normal before that night joining the fun. We were hanging around a local basketball court, shooting hoops with an old basketball we'd found in the grass. And this twin brother kept following me around all over the place with a creepiest grin I'd never seen in my life. I start staring right into the nether regions of my souls the whole time. I'd back away and join the group again. He kept following me around. When we were walking back to the apartment, it was just me and him walking down the sidewalk behind the group. And he moved over and me. Whoa. I lost my spot. He moved over in front of me, started at me with a creepy look again, and fell down to his knees as if to worship me or something. I didn't know what to do. "Hey, buddy, are you alright? We're heading back now, right? Right? And so go on." He couldn't say anything. He just been there on his knees, looking at me for a clenched face and squinted eyes as if he was looking directly into the sun or something. Later that day, my roomie said he was tripping balls, so I thought nothing of it and moved on for the rest of my life. A few weeks later, we got a phone call from the twin brother we usually hung out with, and turned out that was the other brother. We went over to his aunt's place with a knife and stabbed her 14 times. She didn't die, but still pretty bad. He had even called the police before going because he knew what was he was going to do it, but he couldn't stop himself from doing it because the voices and so on. The ensuing court caused widely covered the media as this was over relatively similar to community where the sort of thing doesn't happen on a regular basis. I was reading one article, and one of the testimonies was that this twin brother was silvery I can't pronounce that word. Crazy, and hear voices in his head. He believes to be very bones, and his aunt was the devil, and that he had to been commanded by God to go to kill her. So, who was that God that told him to go kill her? Well, as the newspaper article described, that the guy in the group he hung up with the New Year's Day didn't take long to realize that he was talking to me. This was 22 years ago. I know as a fact it was a mental illness for just knowing that I had somehow commanded himself to kill his aunt, and stays with me to this day. Ooh, this one is by Cat Gotcha, and let me know what your guys' thoughts are, and don't forget to like, subscribe, etc., and I will see you in the next video. Bye!